from the Vegancentric Kitchen, and tonight I'm going to show you how to make pasties. So pasties are something that aren't vegan. It's a big dish in my family. It's an English dish, and you always make them with butter, meat, onions. You know, you can put different stuff in them, but it's an individual meat pie that dates back to the 1300s, and I love making them. I mean, we ate them all the time in my family, and if my grandmother saw that I made them vegan, she'd probably have a heart attack, but no. Preheat your oven to 350 degrees. First, start out with 4 cups of unbleached flour. I doubled the batch just because pasties are a great dish to make in large quantities, and then you can just freeze whatever you don't bake off. And I like it because, look, pasties take a while to make, so they are time consuming. It's nice when you can double or triple the batch. Make a lot and freeze them for later. This is 2.5 cups of vegan shortening, which I will show you the box. And I think we talked about this in the vegan wacky cake episode. I'm not too sure, but yeah, vegan shortening, I like using this. You can use Crisco. I don't like to though because there's palm oil in it, which it really isn't good for you, so this is the best. You're gonna dump this in the flour. To this, you're gonna add 2 teaspoons of salt. This is sea salt. And then you're gonna add a 1/2 cup of ice water, and it has to have ice in it. It has to be really cold. Now, when it comes to the water, add a 1/2 cup. Get the ice cubes out of there. Add a 1/2 cup. Start mixing it around a little bit and see if you need more. I'm gonna use, I don't really know what this thing's called. My grandmother always used it. My mom uses it. It's a dough kneady thing. I'm not too sure. But yeah, so start mashing it around. If you have to add more water, add more water. You don't want it to be too dry. It just needs to be able to stick together a little bit. So what you're going to do is clean this tool off. That, once again, I don't know the name of it. And you're going to have to get in here with your hands because this is the only way you're going to be able to tell if the dough is actually going to stick together enough to form a ball and then roll it out. I added a little bit more water because it seemed really dry. So let's see. See if I could form it into a ball and if it would stay together when rolled. It's cracking a little bit, so I would add just a little bit more water. And continue to mix. And this dough is going to make about 5, 6, maybe even 7 pasties, depending on the size that you want to make them. Okay, so now we're going to put the dough. It's a pie crust bag, and you're supposed to be able to roll it out. I'm not very good at rolling things into a circle, so I'm going to try this out. My mom bought it for me like 4 years ago. Thanks, Mom. Never tried it. We'll see what happens. And you need to look. This is my pasty making outfit. The shorts are very festive. You know, pasties are messy. You don't want to wear anything too good. So, oh, the shirt, yeah. We're all strange here, yeah. Oh, yeah. So now, we're going to take some flour and put it in this bag on both sides, I guess. I don't know. And then we're going to take some of the dough, form it into a ball. This dough seems pretty good, too. Okay, put that in there. Put some more flour on the top because we don't want it to stick. And then you're supposed to zip the bag up and wet the counter, I think, so the bag can stick to it. And then roll it out. I rolled this out, which it actually worked pretty well. Now, I know it's not perfectly round, doesn't fill the whole bag, but it doesn't need to. And what I'm going to use is one of my grandmother's pasty tins. And this is what it looks like. I have about 10 of them. They're antiques, but they're perfect because they're the exact size that you want for a pasty. You can make them a little bigger, but they might get away from you if you make them too big. So, and no, I don't mean they're gonna grow legs and run away. I don't mean that. I mean, it'll make it difficult to move them around. So you're gonna take this, you're gonna put it in the pan this way, you're gonna flip this over, and kind of press it down to the bottom. All right, we're ready to add our ingredients. Okay, so when it comes to what you stuff the pasty with, there's a variety of things, but there's always usually the same base of potatoes, onions, and some kind of meat. Now, in this case, we don't really care for onions, so I don't use onions. I actually use garlic. So I have 3 cloves of chopped garlic. And then I have carrots, because normally they use turnips in it, or parsnips, but I use carrots, although, I mean, I never ate them as a kid with carrots in it, I just added that myself. And then I have a bunch of chopped potatoes with the skins on them. And they're sitting in cold water just so they don't brown. As the meat substitute, my grandparents and my mom have always used hamburger meat, so I'm using Boca meatless crumbles. And they're great because they're actually just like hamburger meat ground up, and they're already seasoned. They taste really good. And my cameraman also informed me that I didn't tell you how many potatoes or carrots. That just goes by learning how to make pasties. I don't know how many you normally cut up. It depends on how many pasties you're gonna make, and it depends on the size of the pasties. So you just have to wing it. And since you don't know how much you have to do of everything, whatever's extra, it makes a really delicious soup with some vegan beef broth. It's really good. Obviously not the dough, but all of these ingredients make a good soup. So let's start stuffing this thing. I'm gonna add some potatoes, drain them off as much as you can. You can put them in a strainer and drain them. I'd just rather do it this way. Okay, and you wanna do it halfway. So here's half of the pasty, so the other half you leave empty. Then we're gonna put some carrots, some garlic, and then some Boca crumbs. I can just hear my grandmother's voice right now going, "Oh my gosh, you're putting carrots, garlic, and fake meat in a pasty? What is wrong with you?" Then you're gonna do a little bit of salt. And there you go. Now that the pasty's filled, you're gonna get some of your ice water, and you're gonna go around the whole outside of the pasty, wetting it down. And you're doing this because when you fold the dough over, that way each side of the dough will stick to itself. All right. You're gonna take this side, flip it over, and go around and press it down right on the edge. Get it to stick. All right, once you've done that, you're gonna take your knife, which is just a simple butter knife, and go around the edge of the pie tin and cut off the excess dough. Then, you're gonna go right around and pinch the ends together. That way it'll keep the pasty sealed. There we go. So take your pasty, flip it, and set it on the tray. I'm having the cameraman film the mess that making pasties makes, just because I know it's a mess, I know it's time consuming, but trust me, these are so worth it to make. They are unbelievable to eat them. So I know it's a mess, but really, trust me, it's worth it. Hey, camera guy. Camera guy likes raw dough. Does that all the time. Okay, so pasties are made. It made 6 altogether. And what you're gonna do is you're gonna take a fork and you just wanna puncture 3 sets of holes in the top of these pasties. And you're doing this so that air can get out. And then you're going to stick them in the oven for 1 hour at 350. It's been an hour, and now we're going to take the pasties out. Oh, they look nice. Oh, I guess I filled some of them a little too full. That's all right, doesn't matter. They're all going in our stomach anyway. So I put the pasties on the plates, and a big tradition for my family is that you use ketchup and you use mayonnaise with your pasties, and you put it on the side and dip it in. But I use Veganese and ketchup. It's really good. Jerry likes gravy on it, which I didn't make any gravy. Sorry, dear. But they're still really delicious. Thank you for watching the Vegancentric Kitchen. If you have any questions or comments, you can post them on my Facebook page, or you can email me at vegancentric@yahoo.com. Enjoy the pasties!